NonStop Local KHQ at 6, I'm Sean Owsley. A St. John School District employee is jailed tonight following a weekend arrest in Whitman County. That first grade teacher charges of first-degree sexual misconduct with a minor. Let's bring in NonStop Local KHQ's Noah Bolter in studio tonight. Hi, Noah. You're tracking that first appearance today. Details around this case are scarce. What did you learn in the courtroom today?
Well, Sean, we're learning quite a bit. The person charged in this case is 25-year-old Mackenzie Knott. The judge setting bond at $10,000 today and giving the state until Wednesday at 3 p.m. to file any additional charges. Court documents say Knott's husband told police he was very upset because he found out his wife was cheating on him with a 16-year-old St. John student, and he has screenshots to prove it. Some of those screenshots between his wife and the 16-year-old, but one of those screenshots from his text message to the student, where documents say the boy admitted to sleeping with her. Knott now facing up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. The St. John School District releasing a statement on Sunday saying they are aware of the allegations. While the district did not name the employee, they stated she is now on leave, as you mentioned, Sean, and the district is conducting their own investigation, adding it will cooperate with law enforcement. The judge setting Knott's next court hearing for Friday morning, with the time depending on whether or not she posts bail. Sean?
Noah Bolter live in studio. Noah, thanks for that update. New information tonight surrounding the fatal shooting near State Line Speedway in Post Falls. Law enforcement now charging a suspect in the fatal shooting on Saturday. The suspect in this case has been identified as Edsel Johnson. He's facing murder in the first degree. NonStop Local KHQ's Belle Lewis reporting on this story for us. She spoke to a man who says his DoorDash order apparently was at the center of these events.
I didn't know what was going on. So I walked up towards the gate, realized, oh, the traffic's really backed up. I apologized, and I went to text her like, hey, I'll walk out there and I'll walk to you. And the next thing I know, a gunshot goes off.
That's a father of three we'll identify only as John. John tells me when he got to the Lantern Festival, he noticed they didn't have quite enough formula to feed their 1-month-old. But parking in that area during events can be difficult. So he said he arranged to DoorDash the formula to outside of the front gate. It was about an hour later that court documents say a man named Edsel Johnson was arrested for allegedly shooting a pedestrian in front of the State Line Speedway. He later told investigators at the scene that he was a DoorDasher and he regretted taking the job to deliver the infant formula.
I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2 million.
In court, the prosecution pointing to what they called a history of violence, including a 2014 conviction for reckless driving in Florida. They also pointed to the circumstances leading up to the shooting. The defense team claimed that Johnson was acting in response to the victims hitting the car prior to the shooting, calling the action self-defense and asking for a lower bond due to family ties and his employment as a DoorDasher. But the judge setting that bond at $2 million, citing public safety concerns. Next for Johnson is going to be a pretrial conference that has to be held within 14 days of him being in custody. Again, that's scheduled for the next 14 days. In Idaho, Belle Lewis, NonStop Local.
To a traffic alert tonight, and major news, if you live in the Eagle Ridge neighborhood, road crews will be installing a J-turn on Meadow Lane Road to help, big picture, ease traffic concerns. The bad news is it's going to disrupt traffic for about a month. Crews will shut down Meadow Lane Road during construction, meaning people heading south on the highway will not be able to access Meadow Lane Road. If you live in the Eagle Ridge development, you're going to take the Spokane Road and use Cedar. While this might be a pain for residents there, the city says installing the J-turn will improve safety, reduce congestion, and set the area up for future growth. Meadow Lane should reopen in about 30 days. The entire project should be finished in mid to late July. All right, we've had a beautiful stretch of weather. We're not complaining. It's been prolonged. We've enjoyed it, but there are some changes on the way.
There's some changes on the way. What goes up always has to come back down at some point, right?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
You can't hear
There
me?
we go. There's your microphone.
I was going to say, I'm here.
It was Microphone Monday.
I'm
Is what was going. Your microphone was like, it's Monday. I'm not doing this.
I can appreciate that.
I'm all in too.
A little bit slow on the uptake
there. Yeah.
So,
are you talking about me or the microphone?
Well, I was talking about the microphone.
Okay.
You're fine. All right, let's get a look at that weather forecast. It has been beautiful. Again, a stunning start to the month of May. Temperatures today above our averages, low into the 70s, so really comfortable. Our overnight low is actually 1 degree below our average for this time of the year, and you still got some time to get outside and enjoy this beautiful weather with sunset tonight at 8:15. Wind speeds, they have been light throughout the afternoon, anywhere from 5 to maybe 10 miles per hour. We're expecting again mostly clear skies. You can see that on our satellite radar as we get you into the overnights. That storm track over to the north and over to the east of us. So again, comfortable conditions overnight tonight with our lows popping down into the low to mid 40s. Once again for Colville at 41, we've got 45 degrees overnight tonight in Spokane, 46 in Coeur d'Alene. We've got upper 40s for Lewiston, and then upper 40s and low 50s from Omak at 48 and 53 degrees. That's our overnight low tonight in the Tri-Cities. We do have some changes as we head into midweek. Again, what goes up must come down. We do have a system that is on the move, and we'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. For now, though, a quick update again on those of you planning to get outdoors anytime soon. Fire restrictions will soon take effect on all Bureau of Land Management lands in Washington state. The BLM and Wildland Fire Service says the restrictions are aimed at reducing human-caused fires as warmer, drier weather arrives. Starting on May 14th, all fireworks, exploding targets, steel ammunition, tracer devices, and sky lanterns will be banned from BLM land because any small spark can start a massive fire. It is a hefty fine if you break the law, and you could also spend some time in jail for starting wildlife fires on federal land. So be careful and be smart about your next trip to the great outdoors. All right, there's your reminder, Sean.
Well, that's all good advice, and it's really important, especially going into the warmer months.
It really is.
Thanks, Leslie. You're looking at video of repairs last week, the intersection of Napa and Trent in Spokane after a water main burst, flooding the street. That pipe served the city since 1947 before failing. The city is looking to bring some 21st century technology into the fray to help prevent failures like this before they happen. The city is considering a contract with Resitech Global to utilize their expertise with machine learning risk assessments. The city has more than 1,000 miles of drinking water pipelines, half of which are at least 50 years old. Well, if approved, the contract would begin June 1st, could last up to 3 years, helping the city then prioritize replacement projects and improve water efficiency. Well, it's the summer of 1990. Tony Tedder was a new graduate, just getting her diploma from Clarkston High. She was a star athlete, top of her class in academics, with the goal of someday serving our country. All of that ended abruptly and violently when an intruder came into her home at dawn and stabbed her to death, slipping away before police could get him. Here's our Help Me Haley with this month's cold case.
The call came into 911 dispatch at 5:02 in the morning.
It was late July 1990. A teenager, Tony Tedder, had been attacked in her living room.
Tony was 3 days past her 18th birthday when she was asleep on the couch in the family home here in Clarkston, and she was stabbed twice in the chest.
The suspected murder weapon, a 6-inch fishing fillet-style knife with a wooden handle, was left behind on the family's coffee table.
This is a fixed blade knife that's definitely sharp, and it has specific uses.
It was clear Tony had tried to protect herself.
I think there was at least a fight that she put up due to some other wounds on her arms that they called
defensive wounds.
Yeah.
Other family members were inside the home near Poplar and 7th Street, a young sibling close by.
There was a witness. Her sister slept beneath her on the floor when this occurred.
She told police the killer leapt out of this open window, but not before she got a brief look at him.
There was a recollection of blue eyes, and
that's a detail that, you know, stands out. Did she recognize him?
She did not.
He was gone, a mystery that has tormented family and law enforcement alike for nearly 36 years.
It weighs heavy on all of us, even the detectives and the officers before me, right down to the patrol officers that responded to the scene. It's always been one of those cases that weighs heavy on their minds. And what could we have done differently? What could we have done more? to have caught this killer.
Clarkston Police Sergeant Darren Boyd is the latest investigator to inherit Tony's case.
Was there any signs of forced entry?
No.
He says it's the type of crime and invasion that is about as bold as it gets.
Somebody came in to the comfort of her home, murdered her, and was off like that.
Correct.
It's rare anywhere to have this set of circumstances, but in Clarkston to have a crime this brutal, this vicious.
Yeah, extremely rare.
Police have had a few breaks.
There is some DNA. It's a mixed male DNA.
Helpful? Maybe.
Based on the DNA under the fingernail, we're not 100% that that's just not DNA from, something else.
Something maybe innocent, like a handshake or brief exchange from the night or day before. This agency is just trying to stay open to any and all avenues that will lead them to Tony's murderer.
We've had one theory of the killer was inside the home because nobody's going to carry around a sharp knife and walk up to the house with it without a sheath, you know?
And you never found the sheath?
And never found the sheath. Other theories are weird neighbors that were in her same age group.
He's sure whatever theory turns out to be the correct one. There's already someone out there who knows exactly that.
It's got to be weighing heavy on their mind, too.
You hope so.
Yeah.
Haley Gunther, NonStop Local.
Sergeant Boyd did say they have been able to rule out her immediate family members, but other persons of interest who have surfaced throughout the years do remain on their list right now. In this month's Cold Case podcast, Haley goes in depth with Clarkston Police and speaks with one of Tony's siblings about what they want our community to know and remember. You can listen now wherever you get your podcasts or watch on our NonStop Local KHQ YouTube page. Still to come here tonight at 6, a group of local teenagers being honored for saving a life of a woman who was drowning. Rosemary Wright with that very special story coming up in a live report.
And it has been another absolutely stunning day out there. We do have some changes on the way as we get you into the middle part of the week and a cool down to go along with that. If we'll look at that 7-day forecast when we see you back here after this.
Welcome back. We are sharing the good with you tonight. 6 bystanders saved a person from drowning at the pool of a local hotel. Now, Spokane Valley Fire Department is honoring the group for their heroic actions. NonStop Local KHQ's Rosemary Wright has more on exactly what happened that day in April. Good evening.
Hi, Sean. If someone stopped breathing, would you be ready to save a life at a moment's notice? That's the question that 4 high schoolers and 2 employees of a local hotel were faced with when someone started to drown. It was April 18th at the Mirabulu Hotel at their pool. One of the teens tells me she saw a man lying still at the bottom of the deep end. She, alongside 3 other high school students and 2 employees, did not hesitate.
Luckily, I was able to realize that someone is down in the pool, not conscious, so I dived down in.
They told us that kids nowadays just record the incident, not jump in, and I think we did a pretty good job of helping him.
This life-saving group jumping into action and administering CPR. Ben and Ray, 2 of the students, say they learned the maneuver just 3 weeks ago as part of University High's curriculum. Their bravery and using what they learned recognized this evening. The 4 students and 2 employees involved in that near drowning receiving the SVFD Life-Saving Award. I spoke with Captain Riddle of Spokane Valley Fire Department, who gave a speech at that ceremony. He tells me these 6 bystanders absolutely saved that man's life, as the minutes he may have spent at the bottom of the pool waiting for first responders could not have been spared. Live in Spokane Valley, Rosemary Wright, NonStop Local. Leslie?
Oh, what a story there, Leslie. And they didn't even hesitate to jump in, and the end result was obviously game changer there.
Yeah, such a great thing to learn, especially, I mean, high school students. That's pretty impressive. So
it is. And
yeah.
I'm looking at, you got some graphics going on there.
I do have some graphics
going on.
Thank you for
forecasting,
noticing.
Right?
Thank you for noticing. Yeah,
I felt like I was about to take a pop quiz in weather here.
No pop quizzes today.
Okay,
it's a Monday. We don't do that on Mondays.
Pass
Maybe
fail
Friday.
only.
Maybe Friday.
Okay.
All right, we've got to talk about the pollen forecast, because I know a lot of you are feeling it right now, and it is on the high side. Our pollen counts are high, and they're going to remain high or very high for the next several days. You can see trees and grass. They're the biggest offenders right there all the way through the end of the week and into the weekend as well. So you know what to do. If you've got allergies like I do, just make sure you keep that allergy medication handy, and buckets of Kleenex, not a bad idea either. 76 in Yakima, 78 degrees right now in the Tri-Cities, currently sitting at 71 in Spokane. We've all seen the sunshine throughout the day. We'll look for mostly clear skies as we get you overnight tonight, with lows dropping down into the low to mid 40s from Colville. Spokane at 45, 48 tonight. In Lewiston, we'll look at overnight lows tonight back into central Washington, upper 40s and low 50s at 53 degrees tonight in the Tri-Cities. So that tops off the lowdown for tomorrow. It's another beautiful day. We'll start to see some clouds push in as we get into the second half of the day. Temperatures, though, the warmest in the 7-day forecast, and we are teetering on that first 80-degree temperature of the year. So we'll be watching that very closely. Back behind, though, tomorrow we have got this system that moves in, bringing a chance of showers, breezy conditions, and a cool down along with it as well for the remainder of the week. On our upper level winds, you can see that ridge of high pressure again is starting to shift to the east of us as we allow that system to pull through. Until then, though, look at some of these daytime highs. 92 in Albuquerque. We've got 81 degrees expected tomorrow in Denver. I think they just saw snow last week, so it's always so fun to watch Denver's weather forecast, because that is weather whiplash at its best. 104 degrees in Vegas. Tomorrow we've got 89 in Reno, 84 degrees in Portland, Spokane, Coeur d'Alene. We're both sitting right there again, low to mid 80s. So could we get that first 80-degree temperature tomorrow? It's going to be pretty close. As far as northern mountains, we'll be at 88 near 90-degree temperatures for Omak. We've got mid 80s for Colville and Chewelah, low to mid 80s between Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint. For the upper Columbia Basin, back into the Cascade Valleys, near 90-degree temperatures again for Chelan, Wenatchee at 87, 88 degrees, and Leavenworth. 90-degree temperatures are expected tomorrow in Moses Lake, in the mid 80s around Ritzville, Montana, also on the warm side, right there in the upper 70s. We have the 90s tomorrow for Lewiston and Orofino, low to mid 80s between between Grangeville and the Palouse. So this is what it looks like on our futurecast. This is the area of low pressure we're watching very closely right there. If it swings in a little bit further to the south, we'll see less rainfall. However, with the location of it right now, it is pulling in as we head overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. It does look like we'll see some pretty good rain showers throughout the day, even back behind this cold front, which will also pick up our winds. We'll look for some wind gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. And then I'll leave you with a look at that weekend forecast. Of course, it's the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade on Saturday. Daytime highs just the upper 50s. That means it's going to be a little chilly out there. All right, my friend AJ, she's back with sports after this.
Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
It's been a fun beginning of the end of the college baseball season for our area teams in the Inland Northwest. The Cougars boasting their 6th straight series victory over the weekend, the first time they've done that since 1995. And the Bulldogs dominating the WCC with a 19-5 record. Gonzaga, the West Coast Conference regular season champs, they secured that title in Eric Swim's no-hitter, just the 6th in recorded Gonzaga history. The WCC tournament, of course, is looming. The Washington State Cougars clinched a spot in the upcoming Mountain West Conference tournament, earning a conference-wide attention this week, with Gavin Roy being named Conference Player of the Week, plus Trevor Smith being named Freshman of the Week. So the very last regular season West Coast Conference event that Gonzaga is involved in, across all sports, of course. First pitch Thursday at 6 p.m., and you'll be able to watch it live on SWX, the series versus Seattle U ending on Saturday afternoon. For the Cougars, their regular season ends earlier, also facing Seattle U on Tuesday. Just one game, first pitch at 4:05, and we'll have you covered there as well. The Spokane Indians' start to the season has been rough, but there's a chance to turn it around right here in Spokane. So first, the Indians will be on the road at Hillsboro this week, the only team below them in the standings, so a chance to get ahead and secure some wins. Then they host the Vancouver Canadians, a team tied with them in the standings currently, Tuesday night at 6:35, first pitch for this series versus the Hops. Now the Mariners also looking for a chance to change momentum, so why not, versus their rival, the Houston Astros. This one, it's happening right now, so we can't show you the highlights yet, but the Mariners feeling pretty good, up 3-0 in the fourth inning. Now some familiar faces on the basketball court tonight. Isaac Jones, former Cougar, playing for Detroit, and then of course in the Thunder versus Lakers game, former Zags Chet Holmgren, Rui Hachimura, and Drew Timme. This one starting at 7:30. Remember, we got Jones, Chet, Rui, Timme, and another familiar face, former Bulldog Kelly Olynyk, playing for the Spurs. These are all the Inland Northwest area guys still playing in the NBA playoffs. We'll keep you updated on who continues to play as we get closer to the title.
Yeah, some real talent coming out of the Inland Northwest, still playing and on national display.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's cool to hear their names.
Yeah.
You know, just
After a
that they're
while,
still in the forefront. I love that.
And all the paths are so different. Some obviously in playing right away. Others had to really work their way up. You love each story, and you love to see them have success.
Yeah, most definitely. Go Zags. I mean, they're always just fun to watch.
All right. Hopefully we're fun to watch. Maybe you can watch us again.
Please do.
Prime time at 8 o'clock. We'll see you then. Take care.
When you're